What happens when two souls bind together after leaving grueling chapters in their lives? A fire is set ablaze when Yazmin enters the Saintil household. She's offered an opportunity that would greatly benefit her, but soon realizes that the work may be too strenuous. Matters are made worse when the larger than life personality enters her existence. He's everything that Yasmin imagined, but knows he's no good. However, his presence is way too commanding for her to ignore, and she soon finds herself confined in his web of chaos. Hello, my beautiful people, and we are here to discuss Saint Ave by Charae Lewis. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Yazmin got on my motherfucking nerves, and we just gonna start right there. So, unfortunately, Yazmin is getting a divorce from her husband, and they're at the courthouse, going over like finalizing everything, and she got the short end of the stick. I think he only had to pay her $5,000, and that was to be paid over in time. She wouldn't have been able to survive off of that. And she was like basically a housewife and she had nothing to fall back on. And she got a little loud with the judge, like, that's it, that's all. And he got the house, like he got everything, and she was basically left with nothing. So as she's leaving the courthouse, she says something to him and he basically tells her, get over it, you lost. And this woman approaches her, which I can understand why she was hesitant. Because, madam, why are you approaching her outside of this courthouse? Like, I got a job for you. You know, just call me up, and it's something that you should be interested in. Because Yazmin, like, she knows she has nothing, but it's just like, lady, you don't know me to be walking up on me telling me that I basically have no choice to take this job from you, because it almost sounded like the woman was a pimp, because that's the vibe she was giving off. And Yasmin is like, you don't know anything about me. She's like, I know that you're being left with nothing and that your husband basically just screwed you over. So, take my number down and give me a call, and I'll be expecting to hear from you. And she walks away. And it's just like, first of all, what are you doing in this courthouse? But Yasmin, she did embarrass herself. I'm sorry. It's just like, girl. So she goes and calls her friend back home. And she's like, things aren't going too well. And the friend is like, well, you can always move back. And she's like, girl, I will never move back there. I'm never coming back home. And you know that already. And as my best friend, I don't even know why you saying this to me. Which also got him, but we gonna get there. I'm jumping ahead. We gonna get there. Cause is the best friend really a best friend? But she spends a few days wallowing in self-pity, and she calls the lady and is like, what is this job? This woman, she was decked out in jewelry, and she just seemed like somebody who had money. She's like, I want you to be a nanny to my twin grandchildren. And Yasmin is like, no, I ain't never been no nanny. Like that don't sound like a good idea. But basically the woman is like, you can do it, I believe in you, you got faith, and it's something that basically you need to do because you have no other options. Like, once again, throwing up in her face like your husband left you with nothing. So come watch my grandkids. And at first she's just like, no, which I'm still not understanding. It's like, girl, why did you take the job? Because then she realized that she ain't got no other choice. So she does take the job. But it's like, you don't have experience. I don't know why you would get yourself involved with a woman who just walks up to you and later on it says, just watch my grandchildren. Because I would think she was insane. Because if I'm telling you that I have no experience, I really too much don't even like children. But you're like, oh, we ain't gonna worry about that. Just come watch my grandkids. Like, I'm thinking there's something wrong with you. Because wouldn't you be protective of your grandchildren and try to find somebody that's actually qualified and that likes kids and has some type of experience? But despite all of that, she goes. She packs up because she tells him, you'll be living in the house and you'll be spending all of your time with them, basically. And it's like not all of her time, because it's like they go to school, they have activities, but she'll be taking care of them. And she makes the grandmother, her we find out her name is Natasha. She makes her sign an NDA, and we later on find out that she made her sign a contract as well, because she didn't know whose children these were. These two twin children, their father, his name is Hero, and he's like a rapper turned record. What is it? What is it called? Why am I drawing a blank? What is it called? Um, like a recording studio, like Bad Boy record label. Jesus. He owns one of those, but he's known to be like a menace to society. He's just so disrespectful. He gets into rap beefs. He's been shot at, like all that type of stuff. So she's like, "You didn't tell me that these were his kids. I don't think I could be involved with him." And she's like, "You're not. He's basically gone all the time. So it's just going to be you and the children." And that was another thing. I'm like, Yazmin, you don't know that man for you to be passing judgment the way you was. Like, why didn't you say it was him? Do you know him? Like, he gets into all this. But it's like, baby, it ain't like you going to be attached to him. I mean, attached in that way. Like, it ain't like this finna hurt your reputation in no type of way. And nothing. So, yeah, I'm telling you, Yazmin made me sick. So, Yazmin went to the ex-husband's house. Just Snoop, like, she really just walked right in and was just standing in the house. It's like, girl, you are so desperate. This relationship is over. I'm still not understanding why she even went to the house. But she goes to the house and she's just standing there listening to him and another woman. And when they catch her ass, she sees that it's a woman that he works with that basically she always had an inkling about, but could never really prove anything. And he's promising her, like, you can come in and redecorate all of this. It's me and you now, baby. And it's just like, oh, but y'all divorced now. So whether you knew or you didn't know, what does it matter? And why are you going outside like this? Like, she tries to attack the lady. The ex-husband grabs her and throws her outside onto the ground and says, anything that you have, like, I'll bring it out here, but you're not going to do this. Treated her like dirt. And I'm just like, Yazmin, you are taking L after L, baby. It is ridiculous. And she later finds out that her ex-husband and the judge, like, they're in a picture together. So they're friends. So there's no way that judge should have presided over their divorce case. And she goes to her lawyer, and her lawyer almost sounds like she didn't want to, like, make no waves about it. So basically, like, girl, you lost. Just give it up and let that be that. So I was just like, girl, you losing from all sides. And then she starts the job, which is not going well because them little kids is bad as hell. They used to getting what they want and doing whatever they want. They bad as hell. I was reading that like, I know people say you shouldn't whoop kids, but I'd have whooped the fuck out them kids. But anyway, so, and that was okay. As soon as she gets there, Natasha leaves. She's like, you got this. I got important engagements that I have to get to. So basically, peace. So she's left in the house with two badass kids and a chef. And I think there's a housekeeper, because I don't like to say maid. A housekeeper who they have to show her the ropes and like basically what the kids' routine is, because Natasha like as soon as she like, you gonna do the job, you signing these papers, bye. And it's not until they finally get like a little routine going after she done got them in check. Cause I think like one of them over flooded a toilet, or like anytime she told them to do something, they wasn't doing it. Like, girl, we ain't gotta listen to you. And she finally put her foot down and they establish understanding. Here come they daddy. And of course he don't know who the hell she is. So he like, who the fuck are you? And why are you here? And it's just, they both was rude to each other. It was some bullshit. So he like, get out. And he goes to try to call his mama, but of course she don't pick up the phone. And then she calls him back like, what's up, son? He like, you couldn't do the one fucking thing I asked you to do, which is watch your grandkids. And she's like, no, I got a nanny. They gonna watch. She gonna watch them. They're in good hands. And he's like, what do you know about her? Like, what what credentials do she have? Like, run me down something. Tell me something. She can't tell him nothing. And she's like, but don't worry about it. I made her sign an NDA and a contract. So she can't say nothing. And basically, she's already under contract, so you might as well keep her. And that, like, when he goes back to talk to Yazmin, because she's ready to go. She's like, I ain't got to put up with this from neither one of y'all. I really too much don't even like these kids, so I can't leave. But he's like, you under contract. And she's like, what? So that was news to her. Natasha told her all she was signing was a NDA, and that was it. Not no contract that's keeping her there for, I think, 6 months. 6 months to a year is what she signed on for. Which, again, I'm like, I'm back on Yazmin. Like, why the fuck didn't you read what you was signing? She could have told you whatever. Y'all don't know each other. You shouldn't have trusted nothing she said at face value. But Hero talks to his kids and is like, do y'all like her? What's up? Should I keep her? And they're like, yeah, she all right. Let her stay. So, I forgot to mention that their mother is not there. I believe she died, or yeah, she died at this point. So it's just been them. So he's like, all right, I ain't gonna fire her. He tells her to go get her stuff because they're going to, what was it, the museum? The kids love going to the museum, and he loves spending time with them while he can. So, he's back for a couple days. What was it? It was also like a concert that they went to where he took the kids and took her along as well, which she kind of cracked me up a little bit. Yazmin, she's like, what? Me? He's like, ain't you their nanny? Like, yeah, you're included now too. Come on, get your stuff and, watch my kids. So they start getting along as well because he's noticing like she's not so bad after all, even though this woman should not be watching children. But whatever. So, like I said, they getting along. It's going good. Whoop de whoop, whatever. Until, nope, not even there. So one day, like, she goes to check on the kids because they've been in the room with Hero all day, and they won't come out. Like, he doesn't come out. They just literally stay in the bed all day. He just kind of sleeps the day away. Oh yeah. So it wasn't until the little boy had an asthma attack. And so his sister is like, his asthma pump is in our dad's room. And that's the one room, she's never supposed to go in. But she has to get the asthma pump because he's having an asthma attack. And that's somebody who had asthma, has asthma. I don't know. Because they say it never fully goes away. But I haven't had an asthma attack in forever. But as a kid, I had it really bad. Them asthma attacks ain't no joke. You feel like you can't breathe, like it's all over. But anyway, so she goes up into his room and he's in the shower. So she sees the medical bag that the little girl was talking about, and she's looking at it and some stuff falls out. And that's when he comes out the bathroom yelling at her, like, like, what are you doing? You shouldn't even be in here. Like, why are you looking through that? Like, why are you looking through my stuff? And she's telling him the situation, like, he's having an asthma attack. I came in here for his pump, and he's like, you just should have told me, like, I gotta get out. He has a form of depression. I forgot, like, the clinical term for it, but he has a form of depression, and he's upset that she now knows this information and that she's somehow going to leak it to, like, blogs and stuff like that. And it's something that he doesn't want anybody to know. So there's days where he just gets into the bed and doesn't get out. And it's not right for him to lean on his children, but because they don't really know, like, what it's called and what's going on with him. But they just know to get in the bed and they'll just lay with him all day. And they like lean on each other. So he calls his mom and she reminds him, like, I made her sign an NDA. She couldn't say anything to anybody if she wanted to. Which I'm like, she definitely could. Like, it ain't shit you could sue her for. She ain't got nothing. So, and then not come to find out, but we learn his mom won shit from the get-go. When she hired Yazmin, But also, like, she didn't raise her own children. She didn't him and Hero has a sister, I forgot her name, but he has a sister that he basically leans on instead of the mother. So it's like she didn't want to take care of her kids. So I knew she wasn't gonna raise her or watch her grandchildren. But she threatens him to tell the world about his depression as well. It's just like, you supposed to be this hard up gangster. When people find out you have depression, that's basically gonna ruin your whole reputation. So he was dealing with it for a while. And then, like, after he kind of spazzed on Yazmin about that, he goes and apologizes. And they start having, like, after they have a conversation about it, they start having sex, where it's not a relationship, but they literally just like have sex on occasion. And then the kids say they wanted to have Christmas or go to Christmas, some shit like that. But it's they went to a cabin, and they were just having fun. But the mom comes back and tells Yazmin, I told you to watch my grandchildren, not fuck my son. And Yazmin is like, you got some kind of nerve. Like, you basically dropped these kids in my lap and you left and ain't heard nothing from you. So you have no right to tell me anything. So, and Natasha's like, oh, okay, got you. She leaves. But then next thing you know, she comes back and there's a woman there, and it's the kid's mom. Now, we thought she died of an overdose, because I forgot to mention the little boy drew a picture of his mom, like, face down on the ground with white stuff coming out of her mouth. Now, come to find out, when Hero, like, first had got into the music industry, she would go partying with him, and after a while, she started doing drugs. So when they came home one day, they found her overdosed, laid out on the floor, and Hero had sent her to rehab. And so, like, that's where she been all this time. And of course the kids are happy to see her because they thought she died. But then it's just like, Natasha wanted shit. She like, here's your wife. And no, he was like, Natasha was like, look who's here. And then, like, the woman said something like, I've been going trying to get better and you out here cheating on me. And then she said something to Yazmin to the tune of like, you're fucking my husband. And so Yazmin, of course, she leaves because she's like, you didn't tell me that you were married. Like, why would you form this relationship with me knowing that you're married? And he's basically like, it's really just on paper. I don't deal with her like that no more. I want nothing to do with her. And after that happened, he didn't want nothing to do with his mama either, because for some reason the wife kept trying to act like he got her hooked on the drugs when he didn't. He don't do drugs. He don't have nothing to do with drugs. So it's just like, you start going to these parties, and I guess because you were bored, or you were looking for something different, you got yourself on drugs. You overdosed, and our children had to see you like that. The best idea for you was send you away to get yourself together. But I don't owe you nothing. I don't want to be with you no more. And this whole thing is over with. So he goes on to either a talk show or a radio show and exposes himself, saying, telling them about his depression and what may have caused it, and that he just felt like it was time to let the world know what was going on with him. And he really did it because Natasha threatened him like one too many times. Like, now she has nothing to hold over his head. And then also, the wife goes on Instagram Live talking about Hero been keeping her away from her children, and all she wants is to see her children. But it's like, babe, you're on drugs, and they saw you overdose. Please tell me in what courtroom, even if he wasn't who he was, who is giving you custody of those children? If he don't want you to see him, you're not gonna see them. And so he releases information out on her, about her drug use and all that type of stuff. Like, because she also accused him of being abusive. So it's just like, oh, we not playing this game. He called somebody, he says, release it all. They like everything. He said, release all that shit. I'm tired of everybody playing with me. And so he goes, Yazmin, what was that? She gets a call from her friend who tells her that her mom is not doing too good, and she don't care about that because her mom don't have a good relationship, so she doesn't care. And when she does go back home after finding out that Hero is married, she finds out that her mom is in the hospital and she really ain't too much long for this world. Which, I'm sorry, if you already don't have a good relationship, I don't understand why you would subject yourself to that. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even entertain that conversation. So she goes to the hospital and, you know, there's tears like, oh, I never thought I'd see you again. And Yazmin asks, you know, like, where's your husband? Come to find out, her mama didn't leave her husband until, who was not Yazmin's dad, until like 5-6 years ago, claiming that he was just selfish. And that pissed Yazmin off. She's like, so you recently just left this man and you've been with him all this time. So then she leaves and she's upset. She's like, you know, I don't even know why I came here. So we find out when she was, I don't know, she was a teenager, but her mom's boyfriend's son was touching her or trying to touch her inappropriately. And so she went to tell her mom, and the son is like, man, she lying. And then here go to daddy. She's upset about our relationship, so she's doing anything to try to break us up. My son wouldn't touch her. And she's standing there looking at her mom like, what are you going to do about this? And the mom is just like, whoa, 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 let's all calm down. Now, what's going on? And she's like, I just told you what was going on. And so who are you going to believe, me or them? And she's like, you know, let's not do, because, and of course, here goes the boyfriend. I ain't got to take this. Me and my son will leave right now. And the mama who's so desperate for a man is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, nobody has to leave. Nobody. And it's just like, if I told you somebody just tried to touch me, what makes you think I'm staying here? And they should leave. They should definitely have to leave. But Yazmin is like, when she realized that her mom didn't believe her, I wasn't going to do anything about it, she packed her stuff and she left. And that's when her and her ex-husband, they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, she went to his house and was staying with him until he decided to move to, what is it? This is Charae Lewis. So it's the universe of St. Parkland where damn near everybody stays in, you know, in some capacity. And he said he was moving there and she followed him there, and, you know, they got married and that's how their life started. And she hasn't been back home since. So their relationship has been strained ever since. So that's why she was crying when she saw her, like, I never thought I'd see you again. And it's almost like, girl, you shouldn't have went back, because as soon as she learned that the mama recently just left that man, she was still upset about it. And the one thing that I hated is when she would, like, while she was still working for Hero and they were developing whatever they were doing and she was looking after the kids, the best friend will always, like, include her mama in the conversation. And it's like, I don't want to talk about that lady. You know, I don't have a good relationship with her, so why do you keep bringing her up to me? And then when she do get back home, and just because that lady is dying, everybody is like, oh, you need to put that behind you, you need to make it right before she dies. Fuck her. She could die for all I care, and the relationship could be what it was. Like, if I say my relationship ain't good with her and I feel a certain way about it, who are you to try to force me into anything? That's what pissed me off the most. I'm just like, I forgot. It was somebody else, another family member who was in there, who said the same thing. Like, you know, you might as well go ahead and make up with her and just let that be what it is. I'm just like, man, fuck everybody. And then Hero, he followed her. He knew where she was at this whole time, but he like, you know, I'm tired of this. I want my woman. Because by that time, like when they was in the little cabin situation having fake Christmas, he knew then that he loved her. And so he went to go get his woman, but she wasn't really feeling it, because she's like, You lied to me. You did not disclose to me the fact that you were married, and I'm really hurt about that. And so when they go, he tells her the same thing because he sits at the hospital like the kids, because they want to see her, they miss her as well, which was also fucked up because even though she didn't like kids, didn't have no business being a nanny, them kids had grown attached to her, and she was a part of their everyday routine, and they didn't need another person leaving them, so they were happy to see her. And then he's another person that tells her, you need to make it right with your mom. Man, fuck this woman in this hospital bed. I do not care. So but anyway, she ends up making up with her, which I just what was that? It was another. I just do not like forced forgiveness. It's probably another word for that, but that's the best I can come up with. Forced forgiveness. I just no. That's some bullshit. But she ended up doing it. And she's staying at that house, her mom's house or whatever. And so he's still trying to make it right. She's like, no, I can't do this with you. I'm not going to do this with you. It's too much hurt there. It's too much hurt there. And at that point, I was wishing he would have gave that shit up because I'm just like, all right, because she keeps saying the same thing and I'm tired of hearing it. So yeah, just let her ass go and just let it be what it was. So she ends up coming back to St. Parkland and she meets a rapper, which she didn't know he was a rapper. Like, she didn't know him. He was just cute. And she decided to give him a chance and go on a date with him. So their date happens to be an award show. And at that award show, she sees Hero. And I think what Hero called her, like gave her a shout out, but like called her out. And so the guy is like, oh, you didn't tell me that you knew the homie. Like, girl, I can't do this, And he left her there by herself, which was fucked up. But so Hero ends up taking her home. I think they have, do they have sex at that point? I think they do have sex. But once again, he's like, I love you. I want to be with you. I'm not going to let you go. And she's like, still, I can't do this. You're married. You didn't tell me you were married. Because, I think by then he had got a divorce or was in the process of getting a divorce. He's like, she don't mean nothing. You didn't tell me. You still didn't tell me. So she still wasn't going for it. So he's like, all right. Oh, I forgot to mention. So let's go back to when they were getting to know each other. He took her to St. Ave, which is like a street or a part of town that he grew up on. So, what was that? He was like, I took you to the one place where I felt safe at, or, like, I took you to meet my people. So I never did that with old girl. Like, she don't get that part of me. Like, I only did that with you. So I'm saying that to say we're at the end of the book where it's his birthday and he's looking around hoping to see her at the birthday party and she's not there. So he's sad and he gets a text message of his old house. So, but it's from an unknown number. So he's like, man, what the fuck going on around here? So he tells his driver, drive past the house or whatever. He like, we got action. He like, I don't know what's going on. So he gets, when they get there, his driver / bodyguard tell him, no, you stay in the car. Let me go check this out. See what this is. Make sure you ain't walking into a trap. And so he gets out first, like looks around and then tells Hero to get out the car. Hero gets out the car and goes up to the porch to see Yazmin there, sitting there with a cupcake. And, he grinning big as hell like, I thought you wasn't coming. I thought I wasn't going to see you. This is the best part of my birthday. I love you. And she gives him the cupcake. She's ready to move forward with their situation. She loves him too. And she doesn't want to give it up. So we have the epilogue where they're now married and she is giving birth to the newest addition of their family. And everything's great and everything's right with the world. And yeah. But yeah, Yazmin pissed me the fuck off. I was like, girl, you are loot, baby. You was taking loss after loss after loss. And it was just like, damn, girl, when is it going to be your turn? But also, some of the choices you made were not good choices. But I'm glad you got, what you wanted in the end, which is love and 3 children, because you gotta look after them badass twins. Yeah, that's all I got. Peace and blessings, my beautiful people.